Hey everybody, what is going on? Hexlex here. I got another Pokemon Pocket deck profile for you. Coming at you this time with a more aggressive grass strategy. We're on Exeggutor Yanmega. For our deck list, we're on 2 Genetic Apex Execute, 2 Exeggutor EX, 2 Yanma, 2 Yanmega EX, 1 Mew EX, 2 Potion, 2 Pokeball, 2 Professor's Research, 2 Erica, 2 Leaf, and then 1 Cyrus. So I'm actually kind of considering cutting the Mew, potentially, for exactly situations like this, where you open Mew as your only basic. I like having Mew in a lot of builds that have the room, just as an option to potentially go into genome hacking. And we do have the time to set up the energy on something like Mew, because Exeggutor EX, one of our main attackers, ideally our first attacker, only requires 1 energy to get going. Now, as the title and thumbnail, some combination of the two imply, this is, in my opinion, just the best way to handle the fast emerging Darkrai decks. Darkrai is pretty quickly proving to be a house in the meta, and this is one of the better ways to deal with it. Not only does the Exeggutor EX have a lot of good staying power against the Darkrai with the high HP, and also being able to 2-shot it most of the time. I think you have to win 1 coin flip to actually 2-shot the Darkrai, but the Yanmega can every time 1-shot the Darkrai. Well, unless it's got the Giant's Cape. Yeah, so Giant's Cape and Darkrai builds, I think, is quickly becoming very, very important for the card to have. But yeah, you're going to see in some of these upcoming games here that I'm not exaggerating when I say Exeggutor EX can straight up solo Dark decks. Exeggutor EX also was already seeing quite a bit of play, not just in Celebi decks, but also in its own deck, even before the release of Space-Time Smackdown. So definitely an extremely good card just in general. Celebi, of course, has been so far, well, I guess since the release of Mythical Islands, you know, the sort of premier grass strategy, but I definitely think that this more aggressive grass strategy with stuff like Exeggutor and Yanmega, mostly Exeggutor, is definitely not to be ignored. You could, in theory, play Celebis instead of Yanmegas and not even just play Serperior, although you do also see Exeggutor played in Celebi builds with Serperior, because, again, it's just really nice to have that cheap in terms of energy consumption, aggressive option early on in the game, right? And the 160 HP is still pretty bulky too, especially when you're running the Ericas and the Potions like we are. Potion I don't think is super, like 100% necessary. You could, instead of Mew and or Potion, play Shaman from the new set as well. Is definitely not a bad option. I'm mostly playing Mew and Potion because I haven't pulled any Shamans yet, so. Alright, now we took 100 damage from that last Celebi attack. Thankfully, we were able to KO the... What is the middle line between Snivy and Serperior? I can never remember that Pokemon's name, but we managed to KO that before they evolved into Serperior, and now we're using our Exeggutor to start chipping away at their Celebi. Missing the coin flip on that Tropical Swing is a little annoying, but not the end of the world. So they're going to get to attach 1 more energy. They can flip 4 coins, so even if they land 2 heads, which is pretty average, Exeggutor can still survive that here. Even if it doesn't, we do have Yanmega coming in next turn, although to be fair, now, after that Erica... Was that Erica? Yeah, after that Erica, the Yanmega can no longer one-shot the Celebi here. So, alright, we got Tails, Heads, Tails, and Tails. We lucked out, actually, a little bit there. Well, again, no, actually, even if they had flipped 2 heads, yeah, we still would have left at 10 HP, which is perfectly fine. Yeah, we're going to keep setting up the Yanmega. No need to Potion here, because that doesn't let Exeggutor survive any more hits than it would otherwise. We're just going to Tropical Swing. We land the coin flip, which is really good, getting it down to 50 HP. Now, even if they do have Erica plus Potion, which I actually think they do, if I remember right, we can still one-shot with Yanmega on the follow-up turn. They did have Potion plus Erica. It's funny how, like, the inclusion of Erica just makes the Potion better. It makes it, well, because it makes healing a lot of the time more than just surviving an additional hit, right? You can actually potentially get a full heal. Exeggutor is going to go down to this powerful bloom, but we already knew that was going to be the case. It's completely fine. And we're just going to bring in our Yanmega next. Of course, another strategy where you can use the Yanmega is in combination with Dialga. That actually also ends up being a pretty good way to counter the dark decks there. I'm going to try Dialga Yanmega at some point. But I also did kind of want to try them independently a little bit, just to see how I valued each of them before putting them together, right? I didn't want to end up in a situation where I tried Dialga Yanmega, and the build ended up feeling mid to me, and then I was like, oh, these cards just suck, right? But in looking at recent tournament results, we've definitely seen Dialga Yanmega start to be more popular, I think, as a result of its good matchup against Darkrai. Speaking of which, we are up against Darkrai for our next game here. Let's see what we got. I don't remember if we win or lose this coin flip. Actually, you know, it's funny. Exeggutor is not a deck where you necessarily mind winning the coin flip. Usually you want to lose it. You want to land tails. But even if you land heads and you open, execute, Exeggutor, you play execute turn 1, and then on the next turn you can just evolve into Exeggutor and start attacking for 1 energy anyway. So in that regard, you actually kind of want to go first a lot of the time. Actually, this is the exact kind of scenario where going first would have been pretty good. But I mean, going second is still, of course, completely fine. Let's just get a little bit ahead on energy. Gonna play this Yanma we found. It also gives us the potential to two-shot this Darkrai, right? Because it's at 100, so if we land heads on the Tropical Swing on the next turn with Exeggutor, we'll be able to just take it out right then and there. 80 plus 20 from the weakness, dealing 100. It is funny that in this game they actually chose to give the dark Pokemon what's supposed to be the bug weakness, right? But as a result, this Exeggutor ends up being really good against dark Pokemon, like really, really good. Yeah, Professor's research finding another Execute and another Yanma. Get to evolve, and I'll play another Yanma here, or another Execute rather. I'm not going to play the Yanma though, because I still want to maybe find Mew and put that on the bench, but yeah, unfortunately we whiffed on the coin flip, but still deals 60, which means if the Darkrai is still in the next turn, we'll get to KO it no matter what. And actually, we have Cyrus in hand, so even if the Darkrai retreats, we'll still be able to, well, guaranteed KO it. We don't even have to win the coin flip, right? Even if we don't, 40 plus 20 is, of course, 60, so. Okay, they're playing another Darkrai in the bench. And I think they use Leaf here to retreat, rather than attaching an energy and just paying the cost. Yeah, here's Leaf. Retreating out for the full HP Darkrai. But see, like, even if I didn't have Cyrus here... Yeah, okay, so they're attaching an energy to the already damaged Darkrai. Like, even if I didn't have Cyrus here, my opponent still wouldn't be in a great spot, because my Exeggutor just has so much inevitability to it. Like, you know, it would start dealing damage to, you know, the current Darkrai, and I have the ability to threaten to potentially two-shot it. Again, you just have to win one coin flip across those two in order to two-shot a Darkrai with Exeggutor. I thought about using Potion for a second, but 20 from the ability plus 80 from Dark Prism, you know, even if they were able to use Dark Prism, still wouldn't be enough to one-shot Exeggutor here, so... Alright, we took out the first Darkrai. They're going to bring in the second one here. Would like to be able to find a Yanmega. That would make taking care of this Darkrai much more simple. Unless they put a Giant's Cape on. Which I think they actually do, potentially? We'll see. They played a Coughing, so it looks like they're playing Wheezing with their Darkrai. They could still be on Weavile. It could actually be a Weavile deck, potentially, but... Yeah, so I decided at this point... to just put energy on Execute. We'll use Erica here, even though it's not like super necessary, just to play our supporter for the turn. And yeah, we're missing every single one of these coin flips, but honestly, it kind of like doesn't hugely matter, funnily enough. Like, if I remember right, we actually lose every single coin flip on Tropical Swings in this game. And in spite of that, 1 energy 40 damage on Exeggutor EX is enough to solo this dark deck. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. Alright, we do top deck a Mew here, so I'm going to play that and start putting energies over there just in case it's needed. Play Potion, because why not? And can we get one heads? Nope, no heads. You see me foil my cursor like, no heads, are you kidding me? But at the same time, it's like, again, even Tropical Swing just doing 40 damage every single time is actually just enough to get us there. Yeah, it's insane. Like, I already knew this deck was going to be good just because, again, Exeggutor EX has already been performing well, but again, it plays so well into this Darkrai meta that we're in. It's like Darkrai Palkia is kind of the new meta, right? And a part of that might be new toy syndrome, but I do legit think that with Darkrai, of course, having a naturally good matchup against Mewtwo due to typing, and also Palkia kind of feels like a more streamlined version of the Mewtwo deck. I kind of think between those two, they're kind of pushing Mewtwo out of the meta. The big question mark for me is the Pikachu Pachirisu deck. As in, like, how good is that actually? I think that one might be underplayed a little bit. Because, like, even though it does have a new card in it, Pachirisu, I think most people are like, Pikachu X is still pretty much the same deck, so they might want to play something else instead. Alright, so yep, we don't have to win a coin flip against Sneasel, it's only got 60 HP, so... Again, I can't overstate it enough. We did not win a single coin flip on those Tropical Swings, and Exeggutor still soloed this Darkrai deck. Actually, there was a Sneasel, so I guess it was actually a Weavile deck, so... I should have had Weavile under their deck over here, like we do here, but... I mean, they were primarily using Darkrai's in that battle anyway, so... I think it's fine. Anyway. Yeah, we're going up against another Weavile deck for our final game here. Losing the coin flip. Yeah, that's such a nice thing about this deck, is that you really actually don't care if you win or lose the coin flip. Now, this is a little bit of a weird hand. Yanma... alongside double Yanmega, Erica, Exeggutor. Gonna need to find and execute pretty quickly here in order to make this hand better. But we have a lot of opportunities to draw that, right? We have 2 Pokeball, 2 the executes themselves, Professor's Research. Yeah, not quite enough Pokemon in this deck, I think, to warrant playing Pokemon Communication. Maybe with the Mew, but I don't think this is the right deck for it. Alright, so we do find the Professor's Research, which draws us into double Pokeball. Gives me pretty good odds to find the Execute here. To be fair, if I didn't play Mew, it would guaranteed find Execute here. But we get one, and that's what counts. Gonna run out that Execute, and then we'll also play the second Yanma because we have both Yanmega in hand. Going to attach the active Yanma not only to attack and deal damage, but... also, it'll let us retreat out on the next turn. I think... Actually, I'm thinking about it. This deck might... Well, we do play the Leafs. We just never really drew them, did we? I was about to say, like, oh, I think we might need X-Speed or Leaf, and I looked over the deck list and I'm like, oh, we're playing 2 Leaf. I just never drew her. I don't think I did it all during any of these games. Well, no, except there we go. Never mind. Oh, and I think I actually do use Leaf, because... No, I just use Pay the Retreat cost, don't I? I should have used Leaf there. I mean, at this point, Exeggutor is going to stay in until it dies. Like, that's the thing. There was no reason to not use Leaf there, because even though I could have paid the Retreat cost, sure, like, this Exeggutor is staying in until it dies. I'm just going to keep Tropical Swinging until it's gone. So, I might as well have just kept the energy on Yanmega to potentially set it up sooner. If my opponent's able to, like... That's the thing, like, how I don't even know how they would be able necessarily to, like, two-shot the Exeggutor here. Because even if they were to go, like, put in Sneasel, which they do, attach an energy to Darkrai, deal 20, then Dawn the energy over to Weavile. That would be 20 plus 70 is 90, would put me down to 70 HP. I could still Erica and heal back up enough to not get two-shot. So I don't think it ends up mattering here. But, I mean, again, there was no reason to not play the Leaf. Thankfully, they don't have a Dawn. They're just going to end up Scratching Nails for 30 here. So I thought about it for a second if I wanted to heal or not. I was thinking about the math, and I realized that Erica actually is fine. I don't have to use Erica here, which sounds a little bit weird. I'll use the potion. Actually, I don't. Maybe I don't. Yeah, I don't even have to, because, like, 20 from Darkrai's ability puts me down to 110. Scratching Nails deals 70. That's still 40 HP. And Giovanni would only be able to provide another 10, of course. I just don't really see a world in which they are able to two-shot the Exeggutor here. I don't think they can do it. Yeah, even if they, like, put an Energy on Darkrai, deal 20 down to 110, Dawn to Darkrai for Dark Prism, X Speed. Yeah, that would still put me down to 30, in combination with Giovanni down to 20. And I think that's the most amount of damage you would be able to do in this situation, like, realistically. I'm sure there's some Exodia hand they could have, or maybe they could one-shot the Exeggutor here, but... Oh, they're gonna Cyrus in the Yanmega. I forgot about that. That's also completely fine, actually, because... That's even better for me, honestly, because now I can just swap out the Yanmega, put the Exeggutor back in, and just keep attacking. Again, I should have used the Leaf here instead of, like, just paying the retreat cost. But, yeah, since I'm not using another supporter this turn, it's like, I'll use Erica. Also gets me up to full HP, which is nice. But we're finally winning a coin flip on Tropical Swing, so that's actually just going to close out the game here, as we're able to take down the Weavile. And that is going to be it. So, thank you everybody so much for checking out this deck profile. We still have plenty more to come for decks from the new set. Infernape, Pachirisu, Cynthia, to name a few I have planned. So, definitely sub if you want to see more. Thanks for watching, though. This is Hexlex, and I hope you have a fantastic day.